All right, welcome back to another edition of Intermediate Accounting 1. So, what I want to do is walk you through some of the files that are available to you should you choose to use them to take lecture notes. So, let's begin. So, let's go into our Blackboard course content folder, the front page, and let's scroll down all the way until we get to Chapter 10 content folder. Now, if you scroll to the bottom, what you'll see are a series of 5 files. The first 4 are for drawing or drawing capable, hence the for drawing, etc. The first one is a PDF format. The second one is a Word doc. The third one is an Excel file, and the fourth one is a OneNote file. The fifth one's also a PDF file, and that one, as it says below, is input editable, and we'll walk through that one first. Now, when you click on it, you'll see that it opens up as you normally would see our class notes. And let me zoom out here a little bit. It looks like a typical PDF file, except there's these weird looking bluish kind of blocks in there. Well, those are the input fields. Now, you could type something in there if you want. I don't recommend that you do. The best approach to using this file is to first download it. And download it preferably to your desktop or someplace you can get it easily. Save it, and once it's downloaded, open it up and open the folder of where it's located, and then open it in Acrobat. If you try to click and download it as it is right down here at the bottom, once you click on it, you'll see up at the top it opens it up in a new tab inside your web browser. Yes, you can edit it in this browser, but I don't recommend that you do that because you run the risk of losing any changes you make to this file. So let's ignore that. Let's just go into Acrobat. Open that sucker up, and if you have Acrobat already installed on your computer, which most people do already, it's free, you can download it online. You'll see that this is the screen that kind of pops open for you. And as you scroll down, you'll see there's those bluish looking boxes. Well, the reason why those look blue is because, as you can see over here, those are fields and they're highlighted. If I click off the highlight existing fields, they look blank. They're kind of hard to spot. So I recommend make sure that you can see the fields. When you click inside the fields, it looks like the field goes away. It doesn't. You can start typing in your notes. There's the cursor, PP&E. And if you hit tab, the way I set this up, it'll jump down to the next field. Other terms commonly used are plant assets and tab fixed assets. Another cool feature about this is that within these fields, if you keep typing, you'll see that the font gets really, really small. In fact, the more you type, it gets to a point where it stops shrinking your text and wraps it into a new line. You can do that if you want to. That's fine. Or you can hit enter and start a new line. Whenever you hit enter, by the way, it's called, in the old school terminology, a carriage return. Don't ask me why I know that. I'm a geek that way. Nevertheless, that's how you can fill in these individual fields. When you fill these out, make sure that you hit Control S to save them, right? Or go up, File, Save As, and if you want to save it as, say, a different type of name with your initials, that way you can make sure that you're keeping track of what you edited separately from what the actual downloaded file is. Don't worry if you lose the original file. That's not a problem. It will always be up here ready to be downloaded. But that is one illustration of how to take notes. Download the input editable file, and as you go through the lecture notes, the video lectures, input what I write down or show you in these editable fields. All right, let's go back out to where those files were located, and let's go up to the lecture notes for drawing, the PDF file. So here's our typical class lecture notes. Now these boxes, you cannot input them. If you want to print this out and draw on these manually, that's fine. That's available to you as an option. Another option is to open up the lecture notes for drawing in a Word file. And if we do that, tick-tock, it will open up into Word. And as you can see here, it looks very similar to what the PDF lecture notes for drawing looked like as well. And if you have a drawing feature, this might be an option that you want to take advantage of. So a lot of people have a drawing tool of some kind. Right now, I'm not using Kevin, my laptop. Right now, I'm on my desktop at home. And what you can see up at the top here is the draw feature. Many of you probably used to using it. And if you click on, say, one of the drawing tools, I have a Wacom tab, or Wacom is one of the brands you can get for drawing. I have a Wacom tab, and so what you can see is my cursor moves as I scan my pen across the Wacom tab. So down below here, if I just want to do a little scribble, I can show you that right there. Or I can just draw in there, fixed assets. Now, if you don't have a graphics tab, you might want to consider buying one, or just use one of the other methods of taking notes that we've done in class. I'm not used to using my Wacom tab yet, hence the reason why it's so awkward to draw on, but that's just because I'm not comfortable using it. I can also pull this up into my laptop, Kevin, and draw on it as I've done in class notes before. That's an option. Let me minimize that and go back to the other files. The Excel file that I typically use in class, that's also available. So if you download that, tick-tock, tick-tock, and open it up, this is the file that I typically create for our class lecture notes. This is the file that I draw on when we're in class. And so similar to Word, if you have the draw feature, you can go up, grab one of the inks to write on, grab your drawing tool, and then come down and start writing the notes, fixed assets. Okay. I'm getting a little better at this. And on it goes. Here's one thing to keep in mind. In Word, you can keep scrolling and go to the next page. What I typically do whenever I put this up in Excel is I create the next page in a separate tab or worksheet down below. So if you scroll to the bottom and you're wondering where the heck's the rest of the notes, it's in the other tab at the bottom. And I do this because it tends to make Excel work a little bit easier. It doesn't take up as much of your RAM when you have your notes written in separate tabs. So that's an option for you as well. Let me minimize that. Go back to the lecture notes. And here is OneNote. Some of you aren't really familiar with OneNote. I would say that I'm no expert either, but let's go into it. Now, it will download a little bit more slowly, probably because it's trying to recall or pop up all the images of the individual pages that I've input into OneNote. There's a lot of different functionality with OneNote. So some people like it, some people don't. I can find a way to make it a little bit easier for you, but once you get this thing, you open it up, you'll see what it looks like. And so here are the class lecture notes. Again, looks pretty blank and vacant, just as our regular lecture notes look. And I believe this is already set up. Hold on a sec. There's the draw tab. Grab one of the inks, either the thick one or the thin one, whatever you want to do. And you can use your mouse to draw this as well. I don't like doing that, obviously, because I'm not good at doing this. It's easier for me to just come in with my pen, say, and complete it fixed assets. And a lot of people tend to like using OneNote because the writing is a little bit smoother. It's a program, it's an application that tends to take up a little bit more RAM than Excel or Word for that very reason. But one thing that's cool about this is there's a lot of functionality to this, but you just can keep on scrolling all the way through the notes and take notes as you go. No big deal. So it's similar to Excel, similar to Word. If you like using OneNote, pull it down and use it. I'm going to make sure that for all of our lectures going forward that you will have available to you a printable version of your lecture notes for drawing. All these other drawing versions Word doc, Excel doc, OneNote, as well as an input editable file. The drawback of the input editable is if I draw things on the screen, you can't really draw them in an input editable file. If you do though, let me go back to the for drawing lecture notes. Grab that sucker, download it again, just to sort of remind ourselves how we're doing this. And let's save that file. Now, you can open that up. Once you click on it, it opens up into a new tab. I don't recommend that you do that. Go into your desktop, find that file, and this is the one that is not input editable. You may have a feature in your version of Adobe Acrobat that allows you to draw. If you do, you can go ahead and fill in these different fields or these different areas with different text. Now, in my particular version of Adobe, the drawing tool is over by comments and then drawing markups. So comments, drawing markups, and then there's a little pencil here, draw freeform. I usually don't take notes inside Adobe because it's a little awkward at times, but let me just kind of like practice drawing some things out here. So, oops, there's the reason why. Takes a little while for me in this. Fixed, yeah. Another reason why I don't like using. All right, so I'm back at the folder or chapter 10 content folder where we have all our different files, and hopefully by now you know how to use all these things. If you have any issues with them, please let me know any difficulties you have. Up at the top, you see I have given you or issued the chapter 10 homework. Again, you have plenty of time to go through there. You have 2 attempts to get it done. Make sure you get it done by next Friday. The video lectures you'll see up here, they're actually linked to my YouTube page. So if you open them up, all right, welcome back to another edition of Accounting 1. We're going to jump into chapter 10, and we're only going to be worried about learning objectives 1, 2, 3, and 5. So handsome, so delicious. All right, so that is where you'll find these different lectures, video lectures. They'll take you right to YouTube. One of the reasons why I post postings to YouTube is it's a little bit easier, it's smoother, there's no issues with the streaming. Some people will have issues with watching videos on Blackboard, so I'm just going to make sure that all of my videos are accessible via YouTube. You don't need any passcode or whatever, so they're up there ready for you to watch. I've gone through learning objectives 1 and 2 so far, so you can jump into those lectures with your notes and begin writing those things out in whatever format you want to. The learning objectives 3 and 5 are forthcoming, so I will make sure that you're aware of those. I will email all of you to let you know that when learning objectives 3 and 5 videos are available for watching. So again, if you have any questions, let me know about that. All right, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a comfortable introduction into how we're going to go about doing our lectures. I cannot emphasize this enough. Please make sure you're being safe. Please take care of yourself. And please let me know if you have any questions or issues using any of the media that I give you. Let me know in a timely fashion. If you're having any type of challenges using Blackboard or any of the software programs, let me know as soon as possible via email. Hopefully you've all gone through and done the post-spring break policies and procedures quiz. If you have any issues about that, please let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to writing or talking to you guys again in the near future. Bye.